been a while. If you're familiar with reading things with a Southern accent, you'll recognize the red blazer that made its appearance in every single previous episode of reading things with a Southern accent. I started this about 9 years ago, right around this time of year, out of sheer boredom. I was living alone because my family had moved across the country, and I was left to do all the things and sell the house and, all those things. So there was a period of time where I was alone and bored, living by myself in Philadelphia. And I've thought about bringing this back for a while. I've thought about doing some more of these, but I haven't done it. And I don't know why. I think I did 23 episodes and I stopped there. I went back and I checked, but I couldn't find all of them. There is a YouTube page for this, but where am I going? I don't know. This is how this is going to go. I'm pretty ADD, and usually I have a radio show that I can do to get these things out. Every Sunday night, I've been doing a radio show for the last 3.5 years on a radio station here in Colorado. Now, currently, we are airing pre-taped shows that have been taped a while back for various reasons. And now we're just using all of those because of the corona apocalypse, COVID-19 lockdown. And so I have no outlet for, my needs to say things into a microphone in a room all by myself. Now, you would think this would be something that is, easy to give up, sitting in a room by yourself and talking into a microphone. It's not. I don't know what it is, but now I find myself with this extra time because we're on lockdown, and I've decided to utilize the equipment that I have because I have a bunch of it. I got some good toys. I got better microphones. I got good lights over here that I can play with. So I figure, why not? Let's do this. Am I rambling? Yes. Is it boring at this point? Probably. Am I getting all of this worked out in my head on camera? Yes. And that's what I need. I do this once a week in a studio into a microphone, but it's live over the radio. I can't do that right now because of the coronavirus, corona apocalypse, COVID-19 lockdown. And we're prevented from going into the studio, which is probably a good idea because people spit into the microphone and then I touch it with my mouth. It's inevitable that I just basically put my mouth all over that microphone. Sorry, fellow DJs. So now I find myself in a position to revive reading things with a Southern accent. Here's the disclaimer. I haven't worked on my Southern accent in a long time. It's something that I used to work on quite a bit because I lived in Alabama for 9 years. And living in Alabama, you learn that if you don't have a Southern accent, you must figure out how to speak in a Southern accent or people don't trust you. They don't believe you. If you're anywhere below the Mason-Dixon line and you sound like you're from somewhere else, people are like, where's this guy from? And they don't really trust you. So you have to work on it. So I used to be really good at it. Haven't done it in a long time. So that's the disclaimer there. Not sure how well this is going to go with the Southern accent. Second thing, I was looking around for inspiration. What should I do? In the previous, 9 years ago, in the previous incarnation of this, I did 80s love songs. I did things I got in the mail. I read classic literature. I wasn't sure if I should read topical news elements like current events with what's going on with the coronavirus or the lockdown or whatever's going on in Italy or China right now. Things I toyed with, things that Trump has said. Didn't want to get really political because I don't know my audience quite yet. So I decided to just sort of go back and sort of like really investigate where do I want to go with this. So in the future, now I'm not promising there will be any more episodes other than this, because who knows? People could be like, you're an idiot, stop talking, please get off the internet. It's possible. I don't think so. It's possible. So maybe I'll take suggestions. Maybe we'll take questions. Maybe I'll do like an AMA kind of thing. You can ask me anything. I don't know if it'll be any good. I don't know if anyone cares. But in times like these, when we're bored to tears, we have nothing to do, we're all locked inside our houses, why the heck not? I got a camera, I got a room to do this in, I got a microphone, I got an internet connection. Why not? Okay? So that's where we are with that. The next thing I wanted to say is I had no idea what I was going to do. Earlier today, I was in my daughter's room, who is currently cleaning things out. She's purging, getting rid of things. Of course, like day 7 of like not being able to go to school, cleaning the room actually sounded like a good idea. So she's getting rid of an entire bookshelf of books of things that she doesn't read anymore because they're from when she was younger. And I saw a stack of books, and so I started going through this stack of books. I was like, perfect. I have my first 5 subjects for reading things with a Southern accent. So I have, I need this right now. This is a little happy juice. I used to, little fun fact, I did this from my house in Philadelphia. Most of the time, the brown liquid that was in that glass was sweet tea. Not gonna lie. I want to be transparent here in 2020. It's not 2011 anymore. So mostly that was sweet tea. Not gonna lie to you. But I picked a book. The book, here we go. Fantastic Mr. Fox by Mr. Roald Dahl. If you don't know anything about Roald Dahl, he's the guy behind Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the BFG, James and the Giant Peach, and he wrote the fantastic Mr. Fox. I'm gonna get this up here, if you can see. There we go. Don't know how focused that is. Camera's far away. So I figured in this time, this is going on a lot longer than I anticipated, but this is the first episode in 9 years, so give me some slack here. Little inspiration from Mr. Fox. Chapter 9, Mr. Fox has a plan. Again, going to try and work on the Southern accent as we go here. None of this is rehearsed. This is complete attention deficit rambling in its finest. Here we go. This is nerve-wracking for me. For 3 days and 3 nights, this waiting game went on. How long can Mr. Fox... Sorry, I've already screwed this up. How long can a fox go without food or water? Bogus asked on the 3rd day. Not much longer now, Bean told him. He'll make a run for it soon. He'll have to. Bean was right. Down in the tunnel, the foxes were slowly but surely starving to death. If only we could have just a tiny sip of water, said one of the small foxes. Oh, Dad, can't you do something? Couldn't we make a dash for it? We'd have a little bit of a chance, wouldn't we? No chance at all, snapped Mrs. Fox. I refuse to let you go up there and face those guns. I'd sooner you stay down here and die in peace. Mr. Fox had not spoken for a long time. He had been sitting quite still, his eyes closed, not even hearing what the others were saying. Mrs. Fox knew that he was trying desperately to think of a way out. And now, as she looked at him, she saw him stir himself and get slowly to his feet. He looked back at his wife. There was a little spark of excitement dancing in his eyes. What is it, darling? Said Mrs. Fox quickly. I've just had a bit of an idea, Mr. Fox said carefully. What? They cried. Oh, Dad, what is it? Come on, said Mrs. Fox. Tell us quickly. Well, said Mr. Fox. Then he stopped and sighed and sadly shook his head. He sat down again. It's no good, he said. It won't work after all. Why not, Dad? Because it means more digging, and we aren't any of us strong enough for that after 3 days and nights without food. "Yes, we are, Dad," cried the small foxes, jumping up and running to their father. "We can do it. You see if we can't. You see if we can't." See, screwed up again. "You see if we can't. So can you." Mr. Fox looked at the 4 small foxes and he smiled. "What fine children I have," he thought. "They are starving to death and they haven't had a drink for 3 days, but they are still undefeated. I must not let them down. I suppose we could give it a try," he said. "Let's go, Dad. Tell us what you want us to do." Slowly, Mrs. Fox got to her feet. She was suffering more than any of them from lack of food and water. Excuse me. She was very weak. "I am so sorry," she said, "but I don't think I'm going to be much help." "You stay right where you are, my darling," said Mr. Fox. "We can handle this by ourselves." And that is some inspiration from the fantastic Mr. Fox. If you don't know anything about Roald Dahl, Google him. Fascinating guy. He was a fighter pilot for the Royal Air Force in the United Kingdom. That's London. That's England, if you didn't know. Again, this has been the first revived episode of reading things with a Southern accent. Hopefully, it won't be the last. We'll see how this plays out, and I hope that we can meet again. I have 4 more Roald Dahl books right here. Got them all. 4 more that I'm going to read from. I'll tease it. This is called a tease for you folks outside the industry. George's Marvelous Medicine, Matilda, the BFG, and Danny, Champion of the World. That is reading things with a Southern accent for the first time in 9 years. Please wash your hands. Goodbye.